We all have this issue. So what a full spectrum is, yes, I just did it. A full spectrum is, it's everything out of the hemp plant: terpenes, flavonoids, fatty acids, cannabinoids, THC, that maximize your benefits, and it puts your body into something called homeostasis. So homeostasis balances your body out and equals everything out to start getting it to run the correct way, the way it's supposed to be running. Also with these products is it's broken down through the extraction process called something called nanotechnology. Nanotechnology breaks it down into molecules that are extremely small that make your body absorb 100% of it. So your body's, with other products and CBD products that you see on the market on a day-to-day basis, you're getting around 30 to 50% of the products your body's actually absorbing and maintaining. With these ones, your body's able to absorb 100% of it, which is extremely important. The last Zoom meeting we had was about the endocannabinoid system. So we got a lot of good feedback about people asking about the endocannabinoid system. So I think we're going to go over that a little bit, not as in depth as what we did last time. So what the endocannabinoid system is it practically runs your entire body. So you have two main receptors in your body: your CB1 receptors, which control your brain and your central nervous system, and your CB2 receptors control your immune system, your gastrointestinal tract, and your peripheral nervous system. So what that means, abbreviations: your CB1 receptors practically control anxiety, stress, insomnia, depression, inflammation, pain. Your CB2 receptors running, practically a lot of things, like if you have a disease or an issue like blood pressure, diabetes, heart issues. So it's a little bit of everything. And it's extremely important with your endocannabinoid system to be, maintaining itself and keeping, balance, because if it's, disrupted, or when your body's not producing enough, endocannabinoids, then you're going to start running into more issues and you're more liable to have illnesses and diseases. So that was the homeostasis that I was telling you that these products, put your body into. And when your body doesn't have enough endocannabinoids and it can't regulate them properly, then you're more prone to illnesses. So one big thing that I think we need to stress a lot is there's new videos that have been posted.
We were going to try to play one tonight, but it's not going to work. So
yeah, it's not going to go through. So how you get there is you can go through mylifesimple.com, mylifesimple.com. So the two S's, you don't want to forget. And you can actually scroll down, and it's right under where it says retail, VIP, ambassadors. Right there, you'll see a little icon with the tree logo. And underneath that, it will say My Life Simple ReAction YouTube channel. So you can actually click on that YouTube channel or look it up, and you can subscribe to it. When you subscribe, it will notify you anytime a new video is posted. It keeps you updated. But on those videos, it's extremely important to go look at. So, I'm looking through it right now. Endocannabinoid system, which is extremely important. If you can just, memorize a little, you don't have to know in depth exactly what your CB1, your CB2 receptors do, but you can give a broad, definition of what the endocannabinoid system is. It's going to help, especially when you're trying to, show people a product. So you show the knowledge that you have behind the products. It's extremely important. It's easier to answer questions to people if you know about it. So what is Revive Cream? What is Recovery Cream? What is the capsule? So you can go in depth on each product and learn exactly what it is, what it's used for, what people are using it for. Same thing with the testimony page. If you go to the fieldofreaction.com, you can go on there and you can see the testimonies. And, just before you start talking to somebody, just get a brief, education on it. And so that's one thing that we were going to talk about today, is how important it is to know about the FSC products. Because when somebody asks you a question, we always tell people the biggest thing is do not lie to anybody. Don't make it up, because it's extremely important. It's something that's involving their health. And say if you give them the wrong product or tell them the wrong dosage because you don't know what you're doing, then it may not work for them. And if it's not going to work for them, then that could be their last chance of ever trying these products again. So you never want to lie. You don't want to fib about.
You just don't want to make up an answer just to satisfy
and get a sell.
Right. And the thing that is very cool about these new videos is when you go to share them, you can share.
There we go.
Look here it is. There's the icon. Yay! Technology, I just love it. And it takes you over to the videos.
It takes a little bit to load because it's YouTube.
But you can, along with that, you can share those videos to a friend. You can put them on any of your social media sites. It's really, really awesome. Oh, look at, there's the endocannabinoid. And it's got so much knowledge in it. And it's very easy. And there's the button to subscribe to. And then...
so it goes, like I was saying, you can look at the Revive.
Oh, look, she's going to play it.
I don't know if we're going to be able to hear it. But it just kind of goes over a little bit of everything. There's talking behind it, so you can take notes during each video. But they're cool little brief summaries that you can go over. And it's gonna sum it up, a lot easier way of doing things. So with that being said, doing the videos are going to be extremely important, especially going and listening to that, reading about it, figuring out all that fun stuff. And then on top of that is whenever you start learning about these things, you can answer those questions. You sound a lot more knowledgeable. It's easier to sell a product or get somebody involved on a product that you know more about. But like we said, if you don't have the questions, what you always should tell them is, I'll get back to you on that. I don't know that answer, but I'll get back to you. So the only thing that you can risk in doing that is you had their attention right then and there. So that's one of the biggest things when talking to somebody is you don't want to lie. You don't want to fake something that you don't know. You just want to make sure that you tell them the truth. And if you don't know it, tell them you'll get back to them. And the videos are a great way. You can actually send people to go see those videos. You can actually share those videos and you can send them off to people. There's ones about the companies. There's one about each individual product. So it's definitely extremely important for you guys to go look at that. Super simple to go click on, watch them, subscribe if you know anything about YouTube. I'm not a big YouTube person, so I went and made a YouTube channel for the first time.
And another thing is you can always call your upline, or you can get a hold of Victoria or I, and we can get on a three-way with you so we can explain the product. If you have a family member that's really interested and is going through some things that you want to be able to tell them, you can always get one of us on the phone or somebody in your upline to help, because we're here to help y'all. So yeah. Please feel free to reach out.
Absolutely. Like, that's one of the biggest things. What a lot of people do with me is if they don't know about it, they'll just call me and put me in direct contact with that person, tell me a little bit what's going on, tell them that they'll, be receiving a call from me. Another thing that has been happening that's kind of new to me, and I like it a lot, is if somebody doesn't know about it, and you say you have somebody interested and it's with something that you don't think, you don't feel comfortable with dealing with, it's more severe issue, you can put that person in a group chat with, one of us and say, introduce them, hey, this is a so-and-so, and, I would like you to explain the product, or if you live here, you can come and see us, and we'd be more than glad to sit down with you and explain exactly what everything is, how it works. Any questions that they have, always reach out and ask us. Don't ever, fake it.
Yeah, and you're never bothering us when you ask us questions.
No, absolutely not.
Please don't ever feel that you're bothering us.
So one topic that we decided that we wanted to talk about today was THC. So one of the biggest things that, I keep hearing from people is people are afraid about the THC in these products. So one big statement that I'd like to say is that when you're talking to people, that you're not more likely to fail a drug test with this product than any other CBD product. Because a lot of the street testing that, a lot of jobs do nowadays is a test for cannabinoids, which are CBD and THC, both the molecules look the exact same. So when you're taking, a dipstick test or any of those tests, it's just like poppy seeds. If you had poppy seed bagel, it could pop for opioids, and it's the same thing with these products. So if you're taking any other CBD product that, says that it doesn't have THC, really the molecules look so similar that it's not as likely that you're going to, fail with this CBD product than you are with any other CBD product. But just a little bit more information on what THC is. So THC kind of has this bad negative name behind it. And why that is because it's very popular in the marijuana plant. So, you know, people have a bad opinion on the marijuana plant because it gives you something called a psychoactive head high. So that's when you get paranoid. It's the things that, you know, make you laugh at the ceiling, stuff like that. So with our products, there's no Delta-9 THC. So that being said, you will not get a high from any of our ReAction products. Even if you take large amounts of these products, you're not going to get a high feeling. If anything, you get a relaxation feeling, but no head high whatsoever. So one of the biggest things with THC, there's different types of THC. So Delta-9 is a psychoactive that you find very common in high traceable amounts in marijuana. But there's different types. So there's THCA, there's just plain THC. That's the kind of stuff that you find in CBD in low trace amounts. So that's 0.3 THC. What THC does is your two receptors, your CB1 and your CB2 receptors, it looks like a little piston, and it shoots receptors back and forth. THC actually binds with those receptors to make the endocannabinoids work, you know, more efficiently and faster. So with somebody that has, you know, cancer, or somebody that has, you know, a couple different issues, and both your receptors are lacking extremely, the THC is actually really good for your body because it will pretty much attach that receptor and shake it and wake it up to make the cannabinoids work. So THC is important in this process, and especially giving you homeostasis. You need all these things out of the plant in order for it to work to the full extent. So one of the biggest things, if you are getting drug tested at your work, what you should do is you take your product. You can go to the Feel the Reaction page. You can actually print off the COAs, which is the Certificate of Analysis. You can find one for each product, print it off with it, bring it to your boss and say, I'm going to start taking these products. These are my reasons. This is why I want to take it. I don't want to start prescription medication, or I want to get off of prescription medication, and I want to use these products. Is this okay? As trace, well, on the actual COAs, most of them are saying ND, which means non-detectable, but, you know, federal legal limit is 0.3. If you ever do run into an issue with drug testing, what you can do is you can always ask for it to get sent off to a lab. So like I said, with the stick test, CBD and THC look very similar. You can't really tell the difference until it actually gets sent off to a lab, so they can actually break it down to see how much was in your system, what it was that was in your system, where it came from, what kind of THC it was, which is really incredible with the technology we have to be able to break it down to those fine amounts, know what percentage was in there. So it's extremely important, but you should never be scared to talk to somebody when telling them that this product does have THC in it, because it's not a bad thing. If you educate yourself on, you know, what THC is, it sounds a lot more appealing to people than, you know, being afraid and just skip over the whole, it does have THC in it, because you never want to lie to anybody about it either, because you want them to know everything about the product. So that was one of the biggest things that I do run into on a day-to-day basis, people calling me or, you know, messaging me saying, you know, THC, or just the people that do have that bad stigmatism in their head because it's very common and very high amounts in marijuana. Another thing that I think we wanted to talk about is what's the difference between marijuana and the hemp plant. So I don't know if anybody's ever been in a shop or a CBD shop, if you've been into our shop, that you see the plants in the jars that look like marijuana. They both smell, they both taste, they both look the exact same. The only difference is what's actually in the plant, how it's grown. So one of those things is these plants are codependent. So what that means is when you're growing a plant, that when the THC levels go up, that means the CBD levels go down, and vice versa. So one of the biggest things is with marijuana and how it's being grown nowadays, is that the THC levels are extremely high. So that means that your CBD count is going to be very low. So when you run into those issues, you're not really getting any benefits at that point. All you're getting is a high, which not a lot of people are looking for, especially if you're involved in this company and if you're taking these products, you're looking for, you know, medical benefits. And there's a lot of people that I run into at a day-to-day basis that, you know, used to use marijuana for their medicinal use, but now it's being grown so high with the high THC levels that you're not getting any medicinal use out of it. Some people it's making them worse. Some people it's not doing anything. Some people it's just staying steady. And that's even if you're getting it legally, if you're getting it illegally, either way, you're running into the same exact issues, because with marijuana, you want to grow it as fast as you can and as big as you can. So they're not really testing. With the hemp plant, there's a lot more that has to go into it, a lot more care with weather, constantly getting tested, constantly getting care, because it's not like you can just go out there and throw some weed stuff out. I don't know a lot about growing, but pesticide stuff out there. You have to you have to take care of the plant extremely well, especially if it's something that somebody's going to be ingesting.
And they have to make sure that the levels of THC aren't going high, because if they get to over 0.3, the field has to be burned in.
Actually, it has to be even lower than 0.3, because after the curing stages and letting it sit, the THC levels rise. So that's one of the biggest things that I, run into, is that people ask the difference, and there is a big difference in it. There's no psychoactive in these products, and that's one of the things that I stress to people. When people hear THC, it scares them, and you don't want it to scare them. And a lot of the time when people hear CBD, it scares them because they think it's the same thing as marijuana, which it's, very, very different. And you're not going to run into any of the other issues that you do find with marijuana. So
I was one of those skeptics 4.5 years ago. I was like, no, marijuana. And after a friend of mine, and I've said this before, a friend of mine whose daughter has cerebral palsy, and I saw the positive effects, I started opening up my mind. And then when I started seeing the value of how important THC was in helping your endocannabinoid system with the cannabinoids to bind, I got a lot more open, of course, did a lot more research, and it's really been amazing to see how important all those cannabinoids are versus one cannabinoid, and how important the entourage effect is to your system. Taking the full spectrum versus a isolate or a distillate, the full spectrum is so much more efficient for your system.
Yes. So I think we have moved on to our star product of the week.
Well, we got to go over the products first.
Yes,
all right, we'll go through the tinctures. Let's save the star for last. Yeah.
So the tincture. So tincture is the actual oil, the extraction of the oil of a plant. It's something that you take sublingually, so that means you take it under your tongue. Again, it's the fastest way into your bloodstream. With these tinctures,
this is empty.
So with the tincture, it comes in 2 different milligrams, 500 milligrams, and 1,000 milligrams. It comes in 3 different flavors: natural, blue raspberry, and honey. That also comes with a sample tincture, which it's a 5 milliliter bottle. So it's extremely small, but it's 500 milligrams, so it's extremely concentrated. Usually 1 to 2 little droppers, does it for people. If you need to take more, you can do more.
But this is nice if somebody just wants to try it and they're not sure that they want to take it. This is a great way to give somebody a couple days worth to try. So the samples, that was what I'd use those for. And I actually have a couple people that had bought the sample bottle, and then they take their full bottle so they can have it in case at 3:00 in the afternoon when they're at work and they're feeling some anxiety coming on, or their body's starting to ache and they need a little bit of just a shot. They've got their sample bottle in their purse. I just had a young girl yesterday, and she's like, I carry this everywhere with me, and I just fill up my bottle just in case.
I had the same thing. I actually had a woman that brought up a great idea, because kids that switch house to house, if you have separated homes and stuff like that, when they're going to the parents' house, they only stay there little nights a week, you just send them home with this small bottle, because kids, they're always losing their stuff and everything, and you can trust them easier with a little small dropper. Say take 1 dropper or 2 droppers, just depending on what dosage they're at. Capsules. So
all right, let me see if I can hold that so you can see it. I think you can. There it is.
So the capsules, it comes in 1,000 milligrams in a bottle. So that's a 30-day supply of it, and the little capsules each individually have 33.3 milligrams in each capsule. They also had a 7-day capsule, which is a little sample bottle. I had somebody bring up to me the other day that they didn't know we had a 7-day.
Yeah.
So 7-day, it's good to let people try, especially if it's somebody that, you know, struggles with sleeping or something, you know, pain during night times, restless leg syndrome. Perfect to have them try because those capsules definitely help you relax.
Ron and I take the capsule at night and the tincture in the morning. That's how we take our FSC. All right, let's see.
And then,
next is this, which I've been using all day long.
The Reclaim, which is the lip balm. Yep, she's been using on her cold sore.
I was out at the dirt race this weekend in the wind, and my lips are really tore up. Awesome, awesome, awesome product.
Yep.
Lots of relief. Okay.
So that's just and if you are Billy, it's for luxurious lips.
Yes.
And we'll go over our pet products next. So the pet product is a 500 milligram tincture. You can actually drop this right in their mouth, in their food, or on a little biscuit or treat. And then the pet capsules. So that comes 30-day supply as well. You can just give them capsule and some cheese. And then you have the pet salve. And so the pet salve, you can actually, what that is for like hot spots, if they're chewing at a certain area or itching in a certain area, just rub it right on there. And it is safe for them to lick, so you don't have to worry about that.
And if you see the pet video or the video that came out on the pet line, there's actually at the end of the video, it shows a 5-day, like a first day, second day, and 5-day hot spot on a dog. So you can see how well it worked in 5 days.
And then this is the pet syringe. It's super concentrated. It's the pure crude, so you don't have any other oils or anything that are going to be in it. It has the phytoplankton in it as well. And you can actually just, you know, drop off a little tiny bit. You can either put it, you know, in their food, or you can put it on a biscuit. I recommend any treat or biscuit just to give them directly and you see them eat it, just because it is, you know, a thicker paste, so you don't want it to get all over.
And you don't need much, and this is something that you need to tell anybody that you sell this to, or if you use. When you first get it, twist this the top part of the thing instead of pushing it, because you don't want to, if you go to push it, it can squirt out too much. But if you twist it, it just will put out the smoke, because you just need a tiny little bit of this on a treat, or if you're going to put it in their food. I do not suggest anybody putting this directly in their dog's mouth because the dog probably won't like it that way.
You never know, though, because all of our animals love the tincture.
Yeah.
But the pet syringe, honestly, I don't think it's, you know, it definitely is a highlighted product just because it's a way easier way to actually dose them. Also, you know exactly how much they're taking, what dosage did it, you know, exactly, because, you know, with the tincture droppers, you don't know exactly what you're getting every single time. So it's a perfect way to get exactly what you need out of the product. And then we're going to get into our topicals. So we'll go over Revive. So there's 3 different formulas. Revive is going to be like your anti-aging, skin cream, repair cream. Then you have Recover.
It's a pump bottle.
You have Recover. Gonna be for like people that constantly work, people with sore muscle, joint issues. And then you have that in a sample bottle as well, which is this little guy. 2,100 milligrams packed into that guy. Super concentrated, and it comes in a salve as well. So that's like a Vaseline for anybody that doesn't know what a salve is. But the pump is actually more of an oil base. And then our star product, Relief. So that's our Relief topical. That is also available in a pump bottle. It's available in a salve or sample. And it is very oily. So one of the biggest things that I wanted to stress to people is some people expected when they got it to be like a lotion. One of the biggest things that I stress to people about these products is we are a true full spectrum. So we're not going to break it down. We're not going to take stuff out of the plant. And why it has to be more of an oil base is because true full spectrum is not water soluble. Water soluble means that it can be broken down, can blend with water, and that's what lotion is. It's blended with water to make it into that paste that it is. So with this, we do make it more of an oil base, and personally, I like it a lot better just because you're actually able to apply it to an area with a lot less, so it lasts you a little bit longer, and it's easier to absorb into your pores than what like a lotion would be, and usually takes a little bit longer than what lotion takes a little bit longer than what an actual oil would to start working effectively.
And this can be used, I mean, we are learning almost daily the different things. This is very, like, I've been using it on my neck and on my chest like you would Vicks because I've caught a cold from Ron. My coughing's been minimal, and my sore throat, very minimal. I've seen people use this for COPD, putting it on their neck and on their chest. It's great for putting for migraine headaches going across your forehead, temples, behind your ears, along the nape of your neck. Also for sinuses, same areas, and come down this way and get your sinus tract. Let's see. Well, we just heard a testimony that we'll wait for the testimony to come out that Lori was telling us about.
Yes.
That was awesome. This can be, and then also for aches and pains. And I always tell people, if your shoulder hurts and it hurts like right here, start rubbing the lotion here and always rub past the pain. So down here, behind, or, and up your neck, because your shoulder may hurt here, but the pain could be coming from up here. It could be from a pulled muscle back here. So I always tell people, always rub past the pain, whether it's your knee, your hips, your neck, your head.
You're a bit on the pain and past the pain. And why that
right.
is where your pain actually is, it could be stimulated somewhere else. So, you know, a lot of people notice that with back injuries, that, you know, you get the shooting pain towards, you know, lower of your back, which it's usually because the pain is caused from your upper back.
Great for neuropathy. A lot of people are using this for neuropathy on their feet. That's very good for that. And I have one person, actually two people now, that have had small cell lung cancer, and they're actually, in their chest hurts, they're actually using this on their chest to help with the pain. So this has got a multiple uses that you can use this for. And it's what I find the most incredible about the topicals is that they can go so deep in through your skin barriers and really attack down to your receptors, your nerve endings. It's really amazing because I've used BioFreeze, and I'm not trying to knock any products here, but they help until the menthol ladium, the lanacine, when the smell wears off, it kind of wears off and the pain comes back. This is not like that. For one, it's not going to burn your nose. Like you put Vicks on your nose, and it's like you can't breathe. It's not like that. The actual FSC in there is doing the work, and then the special carriers that are in each of the different topicals help it to get to the areas that it needs to go. And I think we're going to go over the carriers.
We're going to go over that. That's one of the biggest things that I stress to people when selling, you know, a topical is that it's not a menthol. So, you know, like an icy hot that really is just a nerve stimulator that tells your body you're not in pain. It focuses on the hot and cold. And it's also not, you know, going to be numbing like what, you know, you get mostly at chiropractors. It just absorbs into your skin and starts working that inflammation, working the pain. One of the biggest things, like she was saying, is I sold a bottle today, and somebody told me, well, if this cream's working for me, why would I switch to this one? I said, number one, it could work 10 times better than what this other cream could be working for you. But also on top of that is it has so many more benefits than just spot cream. People are using it for headaches, for coughs, and like everything she just went over, there's a wide variety. I know people that used it on mosquito bites. They don't always suggest, you know, putting that on, you know, open wounds or anything like that. But I mean, there's a lot of people that have done it and seen benefits from it. So we're going to go over the carrier oils that are in the relief and how important all those are, as well as the FSC in them. So it is 2,100 milligrams of FSC, both in salve, pump, and the little sample bottle. It has something in it called sweet almond oil. So if you ever looked up, the benefits, medical benefits of sweet almond oil, it's UV protective. So, has those benefits to protect your skin from sun. It helps smooth and soften your skin. Also, moisture, it helps your skin hold moisture, helps with irritation, and it helps with acne control. It also has coconut oil in it. So there's, a lot of our products have coconut oil. With this one, it's really good with inflammation, hold moisture. It helps with acne. It protects from harmful bacteria. Then there's beeswax. A lot of people know the benefits behind beeswax, which helps with inflammation, antibacterial, moisture. And also the great thing about beeswax, which makes it into that lotion form, is that it won't clog your pores. So anybody that has issues like with acne or any skin issues with, your pores being clogged, you won't have that issue with beeswax. And then, of course, has turmeric oil. And I am a huge fan of turmeric. That's all I talk about. We use that almost in everything that we cook or eat or drink. But turmeric has incredible benefits behind it, and I couldn't even list all of them, but antifungal, anti-spotting, acne, really great for skin, but there's so many more benefits behind turmeric. It's crazy, but we're just narrowing it down to skin.
And yeah, because you learned a lot about that with your mom's brain tumor. It's very good for her. Victoria cooks a lot with it. She uses it in everything because she does a lot of preparing of Candace's food, and she personally has trained her mother how to eat properly for what's got going on with her. And it has made a difference for Candace. And I'm glad to see this.
I will say you feel a lot better when I'm not, vegan or anything like that. Or I try to do stuff as most holistically that I can. Right. But I don't go full bore. But a lot of those things that I started to research, and thanks to my people that I met a while back, that, great people. He struggles with, he has cancer, and we went over a lot of different stuff and just the research out there on all these homeopathic recipes. And that's what's so impressive to me about these ReAction products is each little product has its own uniqueness to it. And they put so much research and so many, they could have just went out and did what any other product did and made it a lotion-based form. They went out there and just put MCT oil, or, they went the extra mile to make it exactly how it should be and the quality that you would want. So that's one of the biggest things is when I first got involved in this company, I saw all the hard work and every little touch that each product had in it was incredible to me. And it made a huge difference in, me wanting to get involved in it. And I work with people, you read normal lotions and the stuff that's in some of these, products, deodorants, all water, all these different things, to just see something that makes you feel good, that it's not, something bad with the FSC in it, that you get the FSC and you get the whole package deal with it. So on to the next, there's tea tree oil, which tea tree oil it's getting bigger, by the moment, but it's an anti-inflammatory, helps with acne. It's really good with redness and swelling, and then helping your skin contain moisture as well. And then of course it has peppermint, helps give it, a little smell to it, so it smells better. Really good with acne, and it's super refreshing for that like icy feel to it. And then of course it has a proprietary relief blend that we don't get to know about. It's what makes us special. I would love to know that. I don't even get to know that. So, but it does have the proprietary blend. And if anybody, has questions about that, which I'm sure it's really, I trust this company. They've done great so far, but proprietary is one of these what this company stands on with, their extraction processing, everything. They want to make it to the point where we are the only ones that can make these products, and we're the only ones that we can experience these products. So that's why they have the proprietary relief.
And I think that this company wants to set the standards high for when the regulations do come down on CBD and the hemp and all that. they want to be above the standards that the USDA or the FDA is going to set as standards. I think this company's kind of hoping that they might look at this company and see what the standards this company's at and set the standards here or above. That we could be above
and
that.
Definitely a lot of other people know. I mean, there's good products out there, but we want to be the best and we want to be the great. And that's one of the biggest things. If just researching a little bit about each one of these products, and they pretty much hit those standards way higher than a lot of the other companies' standards, and just the hard work that they put into each and every, blend, just like the relief. Like, reading this is amazing, especially if you know a little bit about it. So that's kind of why I wanted to go over each ingredient in the product and, all their benefits to it as well.
And there is little brochures that go with every product that you can get. And it gives you some information about the product, which is really awesome. And the ingredients are on there. So every product that ReAction has, they've got a little brochure to go with it. And I suggest that that you either look at these or you can even buy these if you want through the company. But these are so informational. And if you're going to want to send a product to your mom and she wants to have the information, you can send her out the bottle of relief or a sample along with this. So the person who you're sending it to can read about it and just gives them a little bit more knowledge before they take the product. Great information.
So I think that's all on our star product of the week. And anybody that's new to this and that hasn't joined yet, just so you know that we do pick one product each week just to go over and be able to go in depth, ask any questions about that product. We've been over the tincture, capsules, and cream. We do have all those videos saved, right? So if anybody ever wanted to see those, we can definitely send those out there. But I think we're going to open up for Q&A if anybody has any questions or testimonies they want to tell us about. So I know, who was it that had a testimony about relief cream?
What's the testimonies about relief cream?
No,
Melody.
Melody. And Lori Jennings, right?
Oh no, it wasn't Melody, it was Lori.
Yeah, it was Lori Jennings. So if you guys want to tell us about your guys' testimonies on it, anybody has any questions?
No questions?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'll tell it as I sit here and laugh.
Well, it's a little bit on a personal level, but you never know because people suffer with a lot of different things that they don't like to talk about. So it's kind of nice to have a test. Sometimes you got to go a little outside the box so people understand that there are other things you can do with these products. So go ahead, Lori.
Okay, so a very close friend of mine who lives in Arizona was in the hospital because he was passing, if that's what you want to call, blood clots out of his bladder. And it got to the point where they tried every kind of, what's that thing called? Catheter. They ended up going to a 3/8-inch catheter in him, and they got over 2 liters of blood clots. Well, he was in the hospital for 2 or 3 days. They sent him home, and he was having pain where he was passing his blood clots from his private area. So he took the pain cream and rubbed it on, and he said that it helped a lot take the pain away that he was having, and then took it and rubbed it on his bladder area to help there too. So he called me to tell me to let Lindy know that it has helped him with problems he was having.
That's an awesome testimony. He's a stunt man, and let me tell you something. This guy, he's going to end up being the bionic man by the time he's broke. I think almost every bone in his body. But that's an awesome testimony because I know that a lot of people suffer from that and or kidney stones. And it's just kind of nice to know that that's another testimony that you can talk about, even though it's a little bit more on the personal side. Still, people could use that, when they're having issues like that. So Thank you. sharing that.
Yeah, that was.
And I'll be sure and call him
awesome.
tomorrow and talk to him about that.
Yes, do.
Yeah.
Victoria and Lindy.
Uh-huh.
I knew
This
Kim
is-
Clayton was coming. I saw the.
I want my prize. No, I'm not one to shy away from anybody when it comes to talking about somebody or about the product. I was at my doctor's appointment this morning. A man came in and he was you could just see that he was anxiety ridden. He just said, nothing's working. I'm going to see my doctor to see about what they could do to increase my anxiety medicine. And I just happened to have my tincture bottle and my business card. And I said, if you don't mind, sir, I don't know his name other than Joe. I said, while you're waiting for the doctor, I know your anxiety level is increasing because, you got a 45-hour wait. Let me drop a little bit of this tincture under you. It won't hurt you. If it doesn't work for you, nothing's going to hurt you, so you don't have anything to worry about. I gave it to him, and unfortunately, I got called back to my appointment, but before I did, he actually said, thank you very much. I'm going to take your card. I'm going to study on this because I already feel less anxious. And that was within not even a 5-minute wait. But he was he had to isolate himself. That's how anxious he was. Anxiety. He had to find himself a spot where there weren't tons of people around waiting to see the doctor.
Wow. So, and see,
I'm hoping he'll call me.
She just walked right up to somebody she didn't even know. That's the greatest thing about these products is that here she talked to somebody she didn't even know, and she may have just changed that man's life. That's awesome,
to get
Kim.
off of medication.
Exactly.
That's amazing. There's been a couple of times where I've shied away from stuff, but I was listening to my Nana's advice about some stuff, and she was telling me how she'll be in the grocery store and she'll see somebody, older, hurting, trying to reach for stuff, and she'll just go up there, give them some pain cream, and give them her business card. So I was in the bank actually the other day, and I saw, in the bank it's super quiet, but there's some people that just like to talk really loud, and there is these two guys behind me, and they're both in veteran hats. So anybody that's a veteran, I always, if we make eye contact, I always shake their hand and say, thank you for your service. Well, I heard this one guy, they're catching up on old times, talking about what wars they were in. And he was just talking to the other guy, saying he just got diagnosed with cancer. He's on disability. They had to move in with his kids. And I was like heartbroken by the end of this. I'm like not even supposed to be listening. I'm supposed to be just minding my own business. And I could not stop myself. I walked to my truck and I went to go walk back in. I didn't have my business card on me. I'm freaking out at this point. And I wrote down on a piece of paper. I went back into the bank, took one of those little deposit slips, ripped it in half, and wrote my number on there. And I saw him. I walked out at the same time on purpose. And walked to his car, and his wife was in there, and I said, excuse me, sir, I heard you talking. I happened to overhear, and I'm sorry for being nosy, and I apologize, but I hear that you're struggling with a lot of these issues, and I would more than, be happy to give you this sample of cream, this pain cream, and I'm sure you're in a lot of pain right now. That's all I have on me. I think what you would need to be on is either a tincture or a capsule, but I'm going to give you this and hope you try it. And he's like, I need you to come talk to my wife. And so I went over there and I talked to his wife about everything. Really great family. And it was just one of those things where I felt so much better because, when you reach out to people like that, you never know, you could have changed their lives, and it may be nerve-wracking at, that time, but I know I would have beat myself up all day long if I would have walked away and not did anything about it. So that's one of the biggest things is sharing the products, especially if you believe in them. If you have personal testimonies, even if you don't have personal testimonies, and I have people that say, I only have something small, like it helped me with sleep. That's all I struggle with. Sleep is huge. There's some people that would do anything for sleep. And these little small things that you think are so small, they're a lot bigger than what you think. And that's what's important about these meetings. We can hear people's testimonies, how you introduce products to people. And it's a huge thing. You could have changed somebody's life. Not only that, but introducing these products not only change their life, but it can change their, pretty much everything. Especially if they're on a medication or if they don't want to get on medication. Definitely always don't be afraid to share these products because they are incredible products. Everybody, here clearly knows that they are good products because you wouldn't be here if you weren't. So that's one of the big things. If you guys, Kim, that is actually amazing. I'm really glad that you said that. So I hope he gets back to you. Reach out to me if he does. I want to know. Maybe next week. Let us know. So I think we need to go over testimonies just one more time about the testimony page, how important it is. We were talking with a couple people before we actually started the meeting, how important testimonies are. This is how we all, survive off this product. We need to know testimonies. That's how this company is built. So we need to know how it affected you and the great stories, even if it's not you personally, if you know somebody these products, impacted. Ask them to reach out and do their testimony. You can actually reach out to either or of us, Billy, Lindy, me, any people through the company, Jeff. If you want to actually email support is a way that you can do it. Just write out your testimony if you want to include a picture on there as well, and you can send it to them so we can put it on the Feel the Reaction page. And so that's one of the big important things that I always suggest people doing is just go check yourself, do an update, go look at the Feel the Reaction page, go on there, click on testimonies, go look at all the different testimonies, even if you don't want to read through all of them, but it is incredible if you do. I promise there's some great ones on there. I even printed off a lot of them as well. But being able to go on there, look at the testimonies, because if you ever do come up with somebody, because I have people that message me, do you have anybody that struggles with COPD? And I'm like, me personally, no. Then I'm in here on my group chat and
it's just like, Nana, do you have anybody that has this or that? And the thing is, no testimony is too small.
No.
Because a sleeping testimony, I don't think that people understand how important sleep is.
It's when your body heals.
Exactly. And you have to get into REM sleep in order for your body to heal. And if you're going to bed with a bunch of anxiety, or you got the whole day's, on your mind and you just can't get sleep, the next day, that just keeps building every day. And it causes stress. It causes inflammation. And if you get a nice night's sleep, you're refreshed. You have more energy the next day. It makes a huge difference. And sleep is probably number one.
Absolutely.
I just don't think
that's
people
like number one
understand
on the
how
list.
important it is.
And then that comes along with the YouTube videos as well. Definitely go to the mylifesimple.com and go on there, scroll right down where it says, VIP retail and ambassador. Right under there on the right hand corner, it's going to be the little reaction tree, the tree logo, and it will say YouTube. Click on there and go look at those YouTube videos. Send them out to people, send people to that website. Go on there, learn it yourself, because knowing about these products is extremely important, and especially when you're sharing it with other people, being able to answer those questions right off the top of your head. Of course, if they wanted more details, send me the videos, reach out to us. Absolutely. That's what I would always suggest to anybody, but definitely check out the testimony page, check out the YouTube channel, and if you have any of those testimonies, please share them. And then also, I know that somebody messaged it in here. They included our emails. So Lindy is lindyhornaday33@gmail.com. Mine is, it's wrong. It's feelthereaction.victoria@gmail, not victoria.feelthereaction. So it's feelthereaction.victoria@gmail, and my name is spelled with a K. So if you guys ever have any questions or need to reach out to us about anything, if it's about the products or talking to somebody about the products, definitely reach out to us. Right. One thing that I wanted to tell people about that we haven't talked about on a Zoom here yet, cancel, I don't know what it did.
Hold on, we just had a technical difficulty. You didn't stop the meeting, did you?
No.
Okay.
So one of the big things that I wanted to let everybody know is that a couple other women and us have decided that we are going to do a meeting for women. So what that includes it's for women to have a place to go talk about, hormonal issues, if it is PTSD, anxiety, being a caregiver, all those things have a lot of stress, and this is a women's meeting, so you're a lot more comfortable. You get to talk to other women that have experienced the exact same thing. So what this is it's a place for us to talk. This first meeting that we're going to be having is going to be on, who we are, explaining everything, and then also talking about the endocannabinoid system and how important it is on your day-to-day functions and how important it is for your mental health, your physical health, pretty much everything overall. So, and it's going to be, sponsored by, FSC. So it's going to be explaining, the ReAction products and everything like that and how they can benefit you. But this is a women's meeting. If you are interested, that is why our emails are there. You can find it on our Facebooks as well. Mine's normal Facebook's Victoria Lane. My Feel the Reaction page is Feel the Reaction by Victoria. Hers is Lindy Hornaday. You can go on those Facebooks and you can reach out to those and see where it's at. The time's going to be at 7 and it's going to be
Thursday.
Yes, the 14th of November.
14th. Mm-hmm.
So just if you guys are interested, you can reach out to us or you can go on those Facebooks. So as long as there's no more questions, I think that's it.
Any more questions?
All righty.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate that you came and spent some time with us. And anytime that you have questions, reach out to us again. And I hope you all have a good week. And we'll be here next Wednesday with another star of the night. We'll have to decide who's going to be star next week. And bring your testimonies and bring your questions. And have a great week.
Thank you.
Good night.